Good afternoon. I will turn directly to next week's schedule in the courtrooms. In the case of Ratko Mladic, next Monday, the 9th of July, the presentation of the prosecution's evidence will begin at 1 p.m. in courtroom 1 and will continue every afternoon that week. Background information on the first witnesses to be examined by the prosecution is now available at the relevant case page of the ICTY website. Also next Monday, in the case of Javica Stanšić and Franko Simatović, the chamber will call one witness who will be examined under the pseudonym CW1. Trial sessions will be held daily next week from 8 a.m. to 12 noon in courtroom 2. And in the case of Momčilo Perišić, status conference will be held on tomorrow, 5th of July at 3:30 in courtroom 1. And finally, the launch of the Arusha branch of the Mechanism for International Criminal Tribunal was marked on Monday by a ceremony held in Arusha, Tanzania. The Hague branch of the MICT, which will take on functions derived from the ICTY, will launch on 1st of July next year. The website of the mechanism is now also available at unmict.org. That's it from me. Office of the Prosecutor.
The Office of the Prosecutor took note of the decision of the trial chamber pursuant to Rule 98 bis of 28 June. The trial chamber held that there was sufficient evidence to support charges against Karadzic on 10 of the 11 counts. These counts include some of the most serious possible crimes, particularly the crimes against humanity of persecution, extermination and murder carried out in the municipalities between March 92 and November 95, inflicting terror during the shelling and sniping during the siege of Sarajevo, the genocide in Srebrenica 95, and taking UN personnel hostage. The trial chamber dismissed one count in the indictment relating to genocide for the crimes committed in 92 in the municipalities. The prosecution will appeal the trial chamber's decision to acquit Karadzic on this count. The prosecution will file its appeal with the appeals chamber in accordance with the usual procedure for appealing a judgment. In addition, yesterday the prosecution filed a motion before the trial chamber for certification for appeal, in the event that it is required. In its motion for certification, the prosecution set out its view that there are grounds to appeal the trial chamber's findings on count 1, including in relation to the trial chamber's factual assessment of the evidence, its application of the legal elements for genocide and joint criminal enterprise liability, and its application of the legal standard required pursuant to Rule 98 bis. That's it from my side.
Any questions?
Just wonder, I mean, so you're not sure that you can appeal directly to the judgment, and that's why you are asking for a certificate?
We believe there are precedents that you can appeal directly, but out of abundance of caution, we are also seeking certification in the event the chamber believes that is required. So a notice of appeal will be filed soon, like in any appeal of a judicial decision, of a judgment. But should the chamber request that a certification is needed, then that was done yesterday.
And this is not interlocutory decision, so the deadline for the appeal is 30 months, like for
days for the notice.
30 days.
Yes.
For the notice.
Should it be, and as we think it is, a regular judgment and the regular procedures for appeal apply, we have 30 days for the notice of appeal and 75 days for the appeal, filing the appeals brief.
If it is a regular judgment, why we didn't get it in written? You know, we are normally are getting judgments and reasoning written.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the procedure has changed, as you know, in the past years, and to proceed in a more smooth way, it is oral proceedings and oral decision.
Yeah,
and
we never had acquittal, decision, so we judgment. So it was no point to make a written.
I think that there is also a will to move on to the case because there is a defense case coming up. That's why we will also move quickly with the notice of appeal So I think we will not take the full 30 days for filing a notice of appeal and even an appeals brief. But look, it's with the judges. It is for them to determine what the procedure will be in this case.
Thank you.
No more questions? Yeah.
Frederick, on the Mladic, the prosecution witness list, the one I've got here is the first witness is a person called Alvin Basic. Is that still the case?
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about what he's going to talk about at the opening of the prosecution's case on Monday?
I think I can send you a note, which is the best thing, and we have sent it around yesterday with the summaries of what each witness will be talking about. I mean, he's one of the witnesses who's testified earlier, I think in Milosevic, but that's Krajnik. Virgin, yeah. So the summary which was sent yesterday, we'll send it again to you. I think that's best way to give all the facts about him and all the others coming up in the next days. Yeah.
And it is the one that's available on the website, which I already mentioned with the previous testimonies as well.
Yeah, I've got it, but I just wanted to quote from Frederick himself, just maybe a quote or something about the start of the prosecution's case.
Well, I think the first segment of the case will be general, covering all aspects of the full case. This will be one of the victims who has testified earlier, who will testify about the crimes committed in the municipalities in Bosnia. We will then have an expert coming. We will have also, a senior UN official, David Harland, coming. We will have a senior British expert, military expert, and we will have a Dutch batter coming. So this is part of the first segment, covering all aspects of the trial. And then we move on to the specific segments of the genocide, the municipalities, the shelling of Sarajevo, and the hostage taking. Yeah.
So if I understood well, you are not going to first you announced 24 witnesses as the first segment witness, which will cover all the area. Now it's only 7. So you are not, in August you are not going back to the square one or the segment one, but you are going now the remaining 4 segments, which mean municipalities, Sarajevo, hostages, and Srebrenica. You are not going back to all this overall.
No, I think we are, and we have the 7 first ones. This is what we agreed after the whole discussion on the disclosure. That's what's known for now. I think we're still in discussion with the chamber and the defense on whether they have received all the necessary documents, but with certainty we can say these 7 are the ones that will come in the next days. We will then see in the coming days who will be coming afterwards. Yeah.
Are you reviewing your evidence in the municipalities section, given the 98 bis ruling in Karadzic?
I think we have to wait until the outcome of proceedings, outcome of the appeal. It's clear that we are. It's in the indictment. We are appealing the decision of the 98 bis decision. Let's wait until the decision is taken on that before we start speculating on what we could do in other cases. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.